Don't you hate it when your body rebels against you? Hate, that's not a thing anybody wants. That's not anything anybody wants to feel. When your body turns against you, when you're not able to control the very basis of what biological functions should be. When you have the incapacity to do simple things, like the things people take for granted, like going to the bathroom and having that kind of control, or being able to plan when your morning routine, you have the shit shower and shave routine going. Like, if your body doesn't do that, and you have to accept things, it's hard. Like, for me, I've always been incontinent. And that is a huge part of why I've had to figure out how to do business remotely, how to handle the capacity of what does it mean to be a productive member of a community, of a business event, of a gathering place. Why I love modern technology so much is because it allows me to interact with people that I don't actually have to be in the same space with because of the biological functions that are not functional. Like, yay IBSM, where it just does what it wants whenever it wants to whatever capacity of pain and other misery that it wants. So that I own. That's my hangups of, being embarrassed about going out in public, being cautious about what I eat endlessly. It's like, I'm not a picky eater. I just know that if I put certain foods in this face hole, like, what's going to come out is going to be the most miserable experience ever. So, yeah, there is a reason for it. It's a practical reason. It's not like I choose not to eat pork. It's not like I choose not to eat greasy food. It's not like I choose not to do those things for any other reason than it fucking sucks what happens when I do. What you might think is picky, for me, is preservation. What you might think is not appropriate, for me, is something I've had to accommodate. And that's the thing with business, is that there's not enough accommodation. There's not enough variation in who we are and how we show up or what we're expected to do. We're not all with the spoons. Not every one of us can go to the events. Not all of us are comfortable being in rooms with large amounts of people. So there has to be another way to do that. Well, digital business is a way to do that. So interacting with the Zoom communities, interacting with the Facebook communities, working in a digital environment, sending email copy, setting up controlled interactions so that there's me and the computer, so that way I get all the work done without having to worry about if someone's running 5 minutes late and my stomach's doing a thing and I wind up shitting myself on a sales floor. Like, that's not something normal people deal with. That's something I deal with. That's something I dealt with as a business owner. And so if you're like me and you need alternatives for solutions, for things that are outside of the ordinary of what your body has to go through, of what you have to deal with, I've spent the last 2 years working on such projects, creating mentorship programs, creating inroads to some of the best in the marketplace at what they do. So that together, if you're like me, we can change the goddamn world, and we don't even have to leave our houses. We don't have to worry about not having the spoons to drive. We don't have to worry about not being able to drive because of the medications that the medical community has us on. Like, I've had chronic pain problems and lower back problems for the last 10 years, right? And I'm doing more physical activity around the house. I'm doing more stretches. I'm doing the Tai Chi. I'm doing all the things, right? But I'm still not going to the events. I'm still not able to get out just yet. So in the meantime, That's why digital courses, that's why digital trainings, that's why digital challenges, that's why these virtual events for me have been a lifesaver, because it allows me to interact with the community and produce something for the community that's unlike anything anybody else has seen. Until people start modeling, until people start doing and leading with their heart. You know, it's not just about having the learning disabilities because of the autism stuff. It's not just being on all the medications that the medical institution deems fit to melt your brain, right? Like, let's be real, folks. Like, that shit is bullcrap. I got no time for it. I want to be productive in whatever capacity I'm able to be productive. And so that's why the Urban Fellowship has the connections into the kink communities. Is what I'm trying to build is not just for me. It's so that people that have to do things in a different way, guys who are struggling with disability in whatever way they are, right? Like, I had a partial stroke a couple years ago where I had to relearn goddamn everything. Had to relearn how to talk, had to relearn how to think, had to relearn how to do basic functions because of the medication interactions that happened. So it's not like it's been a cherry road for me over the last 2 years. I've lost my old business. I've lost all of that. The relationships, the abuses, all of it's gone. But as a result, I've been able to lean into mentorship and the models of mentorship and the teaching of oral traditions. So that what I have to offer, what I've tested in the marketplace, I know works. Tony Robbins is using it. Dean Graziosi is using it. Pete Vargas is using it. Pedro Deo is using it. Like, those are the models that are working. It's mentorship. It's interacting with the community in a different way where you don't have to be in person. Where you don't have to waste the gas to drive to an event that nobody's going to show up at. You build that audience in advance. You create that community online. You give people where they're at resources so that they can do better. So that what we do together, we can change the world. And I firmly stand that education today has failed us. And that through mentorship, through doing with others that are doing their best, putting their best foot forward, no matter what season of life that they're in, that they should be rewarded for that and they should be elevated for that. So that nobody is left behind in these times. So that's what this community's for. That's what the ERA project is for. That's what the courses on mastermind.com are for. That's what all of it has been for, is so that people that can do are able to, no matter what their body's doing against them. So that if they have a microphone, if they have a camera, if they have a message to say, they have the training and the resources available for them to say it. So that from that, they can build out resources. We can compress time. We can build out the books. We can build out the podcasts. We can build out the YouTube channels. We can give out that content so that those that can take on that message are good for it. And if you need a little bit of extra work, there's courses available. You know, you need to go further than that. You want to go deeper into that, then hit me up. You know, I got a phone number that's going to be specifically for the Urban Fellowship coming this weekend. So that those that are able to, those that want to actually do business in this capacity, that want to get into a deeper level and a deeper relationship with me or the things that I've been working on for the community, so that they can apply it to your own community, so that you can do this for your people where they're at, then let's work together. You know? It's all about the community and uplifting people when they struggle. Because if it wasn't for my friends, if it wasn't for the niche groups that I've been able to build and the masterminds that I've been able to collaborate with to be able to give out resources and information to the best in the world at what they do, we should be able to work together to do that for your community so that you can become the best in your world at what you do. So I look forward to working with you, friends. I look forward to seeing your comments. I look forward to all of the adventures that we get to have in business and in service, so that no matter what it is, no matter where it is you're at, regardless of your physical limitation, regardless of your training and your education, and regardless of the bullshit rhetoric that's going on out in the world today, that we can do something different about your life so that you can take control of it, so that whatever control is left to you, Even if it's your physical body that's not in control, you can still find some emotional control. You can control the mind. You can get into that next step of your life. So until then, I'm just your friendly neighborhood houseplant, and I will talk to you later, my friends. Be safe.